Hey guys, can you hear me? Okay, good. Okay, let's go through this. So, Perth Pumas, first match, Greg's team versus the Cheetahs. And the Cheetahs win. Cheetahs get 3 points for the win. Game number 2 is the Cougars versus the Tigers. Cougars is Colombo, I think, and Tigers is Trinidad. And so let's simulate. Cougars win by 324. So who's made some runs? Jack's made some runs in the first innings. Jayawardena scores a century. Bowling. Andre Russell's had a great game. 3 wickets, 67 runs. Courtney Walsh with a fifer. Alan Donald scoring 79 and Curtly Ambrose scoring 60 not out. Let's see how that fourth innings went. So first innings, Jack Ailing at number 6 with 84 as the highest scorer. Shane Warne propping them up. Ben Stokes are here taking some early wickets. Andre Russell, terrific bowling, 3 for 29. Second innings, or Trinidad's first innings, Rohit Sharma, 57. Ganguly, almost as good as Ponting, but scores 2. Andre Russell, 67. Malinga Anderson doing all the damage. Second innings for the Cougars, Mahela Jayawardena scoring 130. Flintoff at number 8. I think Jack called out Flintoff being at number 8 was terrific, and yes, Flintoff has scored 50 at number 8. Courtney Walsh with 6 wickets. Let's look at the fall of wickets at the bottom. 130 for 9, and then a 124 run last wicket partnership between Ambrose and Donald. Wow. Shane Warne couldn't get them out. Imran Khan couldn't get them out. It's like Chris Gale got 3 wickets. Jimmy Anderson 0 wickets. Malinga 0 wickets. Malinga got quite destroyed. Greg's opened the bowling. I don't know if that means you've opened the bowling, Greg. I think what it's doing is it's just sorting it by batting order. Because if you can see, you've bowled 127 overs your team, and then they had to ultimately give their main bowlers a rest, so you came on sometime in the middle, I suppose. So the bowling lineups are actually correct because I've set them. So I think this is just the batting order. Let's go to game number 3. We have, I don't know how many games we have. I can press the square button at the bottom and just simulate the entire tournament in 1 second. But let's simulate one by one. Why not? So game number 3. Jaipur Jaguars. This is Gokul's team. Woo! Gokul's team versus Panthers. Who's the Panthers? Victoria, I think. Okay, Rob Jordan versus Gokul. So let's pray for Rob. Simulate. Ooh, Gokul wins. So Gokul wins by 7 wickets. So Hashim Amla 66, Chaminda Vas takes 5 wickets in the game. Good start for him. He's leading the pack. Matthew Hayden opening for the Panthers with a century, the only century in the game, so quite a low scoring game. Jaguars did score 400, but seems like it was spread out. So let's look at Jaguars' innings over here. So you see Williamson 96. Everyone's making a few runs. I think this was the strength that we called out of Jaguars batting lineup. I mean, everyone's good. Kapil Dev at 7 with a 50. Nathan Lyons picked up 5 wickets, bowled a lot of overs. Good scoring rate. 400 runs in 90 overs. And then Matthew Hayden tried his valiant best, but couldn't do much. I think Jack Callis has failed in this game. Right? How much has Callis scored? 6 and 18. Callis only 24 runs, and he bowled 14 overs and 3 overs with 0 wickets. So Callis had a very poor game, which is surprising. Let's hope he can bounce back. Okay, let's move on to game number 4 then. Game number 4. Leopards. Who's Leopards now? Lahore Leopards. That's Samir versus Lions, which is London Lions. That's Alan. This is the final game in round 1. So Leopards versus Lions. Let's simulate. Leopards win by destroyed them. 272 runs. Let's look at the score. Samir with a century. Samir is the highest scorer in the game. 125. Great start for Samir. Daniel Vettori 9 wickets. Vettori was under the radar. I think he's the highest wicket taker so far. 9 wickets. Let's see. Let's look at the scorecard for this one. So Josh Butler 49 not out 40 balls. Rahul Dravid failed to do much. Saeed Anwar, we called out perhaps Saeed Anwar not able to do much in this innings. Okay, so Vettori with some runs. Sachin Tendulkar scoring just 3 in the innings. Gavaskar getting out for 37. Yeah, disappointing performance by London Lions batting lineup over here. Wickets spread all around. Mohammad Amir, Wasim Akram. Who's their 5th bowler? Is it Samir? Who's Leopards' 5th bowler? Leopards have Shoaib Akhtar, Mohammad Amir, Wasim Akram, R. Ashwin and Samir. Yeah, Samir is the 5th bowler. Okay. Yeah, Greg, you should watch that video later. It's a video I made about 10 years ago. Also, I think it also has a Corona beer in it. A huge inflatable Corona beer, as tall as Jack. Okay, so Samir, 100 runs. David Warner. Is David Warner supposed to bat at 4? Maybe he is. David Warner scoring 0. R. Ashwin propping them up. Maybe R. Ashwin is the one who... No, they won by 272 runs. So it looks like Lions have a problem in their bowling, right? So Broad, Hazelwood making nothing. Vettori is the only one who's getting any wickets for them for some reason. I think seems like Angelo Matthews is the weak link so far in this game. Sachin scoring 2 runs. So Sachin scored a 3 and a 2, 5 runs in the game. So Sachin and Callis are a big disappointment so far. Vettori as well. So this is the end of the first round. Let us look at statistics standings. Let's see what that does. Okay, so season standings after round 1. Jaguars, or it looks at net run rate if there's a tie, which is interesting. So Jaguars leading as I think a lot of you guys had predicted. Cougars, Cheetahs, Leopards, one each. Batting, let's look at runs. Who scored the most runs so far? Justin Langer and Hayden. As always, the two of them up top. And any interesting run scorers here. Steve Waugh done well. Virat Kohli is only 100. Who's not made runs? AB de Villiers only 40 runs. Greg's made 21. Not bad, Greg. Saurav Ganguly's made 8. Sachin Tendulkar's made 5. Sounds good. Okay. How do I see bowling stats? Yeah, bowling stats. Bowling stats, 9 wickets for Vettori. That's the highest so far. Average of 19. Okay, continue competition. Let's do round 2. Okay. Who's on the thing? It says there are 4 people or 5 people watching now. I don't know who they are. So I guess Greg's there, Rob's there, maybe Tom is there. Okay. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. Okay, round 2. Let's simulate. So Pumas versus Lions. Let's see what happens here. Pumas win by 7 wickets. So Perth Pumas with their first win of the tournament. Sachin Tendulkar with a 50. Alistair Cook and Gavaskar scoring centuries for the Lions. But Greg Greg with the 164 and with 67. So Greg has won the game for his own team along with Steven Smith. Well done, Greg. Muralitharan with 8 wickets and Cummins with 5 in the game. Yeah, it seems like again Lions with the slightly weak bowling lineup. That's what Gopal had called out today as well. You can see Sachin Tendulkar had to bowl and conceded 100 runs. Angelo Matthews had to bowl and couldn't really do much. Sachin with the highest score at 54, so looks like Pumas have really destroyed these guys. Muralitharan 3 wickets spread all around. Greg's bowled 2 overs again. Look at that partnership, the 3rd wicket partnership. Yeah, Vettori getting. Yeah, London's bowling not looking too strong so far. Sachin with another 80. Oh, Ian Botham 97. 510 runs. That's a big score. Okay. Panthers versus Leopards. That's Pretoria versus Lahore. So Lahore, which is Samir's team, has destroyed Ross Gordon's team. Look at Rahul Dravid's score over there. So the first innings score was tied at 258, and then Leopard scored 790 with Rahul Dravid scoring 394. I think a lot of you have actually predicted Rahul Dravid. I think Sahir might have been one of them, but then Sahir dropped out of the predictions. So James Prebble has Rahul Dravid in his predictions. So I think he might be leading so far. Scored 394. Hayden's had a good game again. Callis made some runs, but obviously nowhere good enough to score enough to beat the Leopards. Nathan Lyon 7 wickets. Okay, let's simulate Tigers versus Jaguars. So this is Sahir versus Gokul. How is 700 a score in 5-day, man? Smiley icon. It happens before. Especially when bowling's as weak as yours, man. So Gokul's won his second game, 2 out of 2. Let's see here. Yeah, Jaguars comprehensively winning both innings. Gokul himself with a century, Sangakkara with a century. Nothing really to call out here, I think. Easy victory. Okay. Okay, let's go to the next game. Okay, final game, 4th game of round 2. This is the Cheetahs, which is Cheetahs is Christchurch Cheetahs by Tom versus the Colombo Cougars by Jack. 3rd versus 4th. And they switch ranks because Tom's team wins. Again, fairly easy victory. Oh, they gave them a follow-on. So Tim Southee, man of the match with 7 wickets. So Richard Hadley, so they were struggling, I think, at 230 for 6, but then Richard Hadley propped them up with 133. These guys we were talking about Tom's team having the best batting lineup of middle order. Kohli, Lara, Gilchrist. They haven't done too much. Shane won 5 wickets. Yeah, I think Jack's batting has failed him over here. Fairly easy victory. So 4 fairly easy victories over here, and let's look at the standings after 2 rounds. We've got 3 clear leaders. That's Gokul, Tom, and Samir with 2 victories each. Rahul Dravid 499, highest scorer, runaway leader so far. Let's look at the bowling stats quickly before going to round 3. Nathan Lyon, 17 wickets. He had a good game. In his last game, I think he got 7 wickets in the game, or 9 wickets in the game. Lots of chat from Gopal. Arjun mentioned my comment. So Gopal would like to say that Richard Hadley has become a better batsman late in his career, and it shows here. Ha ha ha. Arjun mentioned that. Oof, made to follow on Jack. Shall we go to round 3? Just see who's got 0 wickets and has bowled. Flintoff, no wickets so far. Hazelwood, Callis, no wickets so far. Samir, no wickets. Okay, let's go. Round 3. continue competition, round 3 of the competition. I'm not taking any screenshots, so hopefully people are watching this. Cougars versus Pumas. I don't remember. Cougars is who's Cougars? I think that's Colombo, right? Yeah, Colombo Cougars versus Jack versus Greg. 4th versus 5th. Let's simulate. So Jack picks up his 2nd victory of the tournament. Seems like a close game. Let's see what happened. Okay, so Greg batted first, and Greg scored another century. Greg's moving up the batting lineups, but it seems like it was single-handed innings. The team scored only 211, and Greg scored 100. Chris Gayle having to bowl again, so it doesn't look like Jack's bowling lineup is really on form so far. Cougars batted, made 452, so huge first innings lead. That's what I guess killed off the game itself. And there's no looking back from there. Chris Gayle with 5 wickets in the game, 3 and 2. Muralitharan with 7 wickets in the game. Chris Gayle seems a good pick so far. So as you can see over here, simply one-handed, single-man performance from Greg. I don't know why Flintoff isn't bowling too much, because he's bowled well in this game. Imran Khan batting at 7. Yeah, this batting lineup actually of Jack's is quite deep, right? Flintoff at 8, Imran at 7. Make some good runs. Shane Warne, I think he scored a 50 before this as well. So Shane Warne 72. Okay. Greg 15 in the 2nd innings. Okay, let's move on to the 2nd game. This is our favorite guy, Gokul, playing his 3rd game versus the Cheetahs, which is Tom Allen. This is 1st versus 2nd. I feel like we're actually playing this game, but let's see what happens. 1st versus 2nd, let's simulate. Whoa! Close game. Oh man, I don't think Gokul's gonna like this. If Gokul's watching this, he will not like this because Tom has beaten Gokul. Let's see. So 515 by Tom's team to start off with. Adam Gilchrist with 179 runs. Kapil Dev with a century and a 3-wicket haul in the 1st innings. So let's look at this. Tom looking good so far, but Vas is not doing anything so far. Huh? Vas early round pick by Gokul, 1 for 88. Gokul not doing too much in 2nd innings, 38 runs himself. Kapil Dev getting some good runs. There were 233 for 6. Jadeja looks to have decimated the lower order, so Jadeja is doing really well for Tom. 4 wickets for Jadeja. Who's got the wickets in this one? Because Tom's gotten all out for 255. Kumble Bumrah get the wickets. Again, Vas 0 wickets. So Vas has only 1 wicket so far in the entire game. I think he's conceded more than 160 runs for that single wicket. Yeah, valiant effort from Gokul, 91, but not enough to beat Tom. So anyway, we have a new leader at the top. It is Tom Allen. let's look at a few comments. Gopal wants me to mention more comments, so he is happy, good vibes. Samir is too wayward. Put on better background music. I don't know what the background music is. I think it's the default background music. Alan is texting me. Alan is texting me saying, "Can I have stats, please?" Alan, if you're watching, then that's the best you can do so far. Let me ask Alexa to play some music. Alexa, play some music.
Here's a playlist you might like. Top 50 most played on Amazon Music.
Okay, Alexa's playing some music in the background and volume 0. So that's Gopal's comment. Why did Greg open the bowling? So Gopal, we've discussed that. Greg did not open the bowling. Tom has answered that for you. No, Tom hasn't answered that. Greg did not open the bowling. Alexa, volume 4. So Gopal, I think the bowling lineup is essentially not indicated correctly. It just shows the bowlers in the order in which they're displayed in the system itself, which is their batting order. But that doesn't mean that Greg opened bowling. It does not seem to me that number 6 and 7 score centuries in these simulations, because you've seen some very good scores from Dravid, Langer, Greg, Gokul, all at the top of the order. So I think the runs are being spread out everywhere. Okay, let's move on to game number 3 of this round 3. Leopards ranked 2 versus Trinidad Tigers of Sahir. So let's simulate. Leopards have won this one. Again, Rahul Dravid's running away with the batting leaderboard so far. So I don't think anyone's going to catch Rahul Dravid at this rate. 3 games in and he's probably scored close to 700 runs, 800 runs. He scored 390 I think in one game and 250 in this game. Samir's batted well, Sahir's batted well. Rohit Sharma with 2 decent 50s. Bowling wise, I think Ravi Ashwin's been having a good tournament so far. I think all the spinners have been having a good tournament so far. Nathan Lyon, Ravi Ashwin, Jadeja, Vettori, they've all taken some good wickets. Maybe it's because they're bowling more, who knows. But some good high scoring games over here, especially because Rahul Dravid is batting well and only 92 to chase down, which Samir was able to chase very easily. So this was a good rivalry, this game between Samir and Sahir, but Samir wins this one. Let's quickly look at the batting scorecards. Andre Russell with a duck, Sahir with 6 himself, Shoaib Akhtar with 4 wickets, Samir picks up a single wicket. Samir scores a really good 92, which we've seen, but of course headlined by Rahul Dravid 255. Saeed Anwar out first ball of the innings by Courtney Walsh. I'd love to watch that. Courtney Walsh bowling to Saeed Anwar, nicked behind, caught by Dhoni, the second best captain he has ever had, Dhoni. Andre Russell was bowling quite a bit. Surprisingly, Sahir picked up 0 wickets in this game. But if you look at this is quite a deep and good bowling lineup. So Trinidad should be doing better with this bowling lineup. I guess it's their batting that's letting them down. As we said, Ashwin with some good wickets. I don't know what music this is in the background. Seems like something that Tom would listen to. This is what Alexa's playing. Finally, game number 4. This is London Lions from Allen versus the Panthers. Which I have to check again. Who's the Panthers? Pretoria, of course. Pretoria Panthers by Rob Jordan. So, bottom of the league clash. Panthers haven't won a game, and no, actually neither of them have won a game so far. So this will be the first victory for one of them if there's no draw. I don't think we've had a single draw so far. So let's simulate. Oh well, Neither of them have picked up a victory. They're both still searching for the victory. This is the first drawn game so far. Things don't look good for the Lions or the Panthers. They're languishing at 7th and 8th, or 6th and 7th. Let's look at the batting. Some high scores that we're seeing in this game. Nathan Lyon again with the fifer, so he's continuing his good form. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 centuries in the game. 2 from Graham Smith, the Cock, Bairstow route. There may even be more in the background, we don't know. Alan Fernandez is keeping the bowling sorted himself. He's been getting 2 or 3 wickets in every innings, and I think he's the only guy who's really getting wickets for the Lions, London Lions. London Lions bowling again, like we called out, not doing too well. Let's quickly look through this. Sachin 33, middling score. Daniel Vittori made some good runs. Such a good batting lineup, right? Top 5. Look at that. Hayden Smith, Amla, Callis, De Villiers. Some good scores, and you would think that they'll win more, but it seems like that both these teams don't have good enough bowling lineups. Especially the Lions don't seem to have a good enough bowling lineup. Sachin's bowled quite a lot of overs in this game, but he failed with the bat. Sachin, 13 runs. Can you please remember me, man? Crying smiley from Rob Jordan, and Rob's, I think, bottom 3, so it's tough to remember him. Gopal Balkrishan, Arjun, there are no draws. Press the simulate button. Result, match drawn. Gopal liked that. I like it that you liked it, Gopal. Okay, so this is round 3 done. Let's look at the stats. Let's look at the team's standings first. So, Cheetahs and Leopards, which is Lahore Leopards and Christchurch Cheetahs, both with 3 victories each. 3 losses for Trinidad. They're not doing too well. And Panthers and Lions off the mark with a single point each. Let's look at the runs. Is there anything else that you guys want to see besides runs? So Rahul Dravid 750, like we saw. Langer, Hayden doing really well. Greg rounding off the top 5. Quite a few players around the 350 mark. Greg Kanwardena, Ken Williamson, Steve Smith, Graham Smith, Gokul, all around that mark. Who scored the most 6s so far? Rahul Dravid, he's batted so long. Yeah, I have not set anyone's temperament or their aggression levels. You can set their aggression levels, but I haven't gone to that detail. Rahul Dravid's average, mind-boggling, 150. Steve was doing well as well. Some not-outs. Ryan Lara, Dave Warner, Kane Williamson, all with strike rates plus 200. Even in simulation, like in real life, Greg trounces Gokul from Gopal. Yeah, very true. Let's look at the bowling stats before moving on to round 4. So there's 4 spinners at the top. Nathan Lyon, Ravi Ashwin, Jadeja and Muralitharan. Let's look at their strike rates. I don't think their strike rates will be as good because they seem to be bowling a lot. Right. Scroll down to there. Okay. So Ashwin's got the best strike rate, 30. Gale, 30. Amir Malinga, Saudi. Quite a good spread. Tom Allen, let's look at his stats. Let's do official Tom Allen. He's played 3 games, bowled, I don't know how many overs this is. Seems like 160 overs. No, 80 overs. 80 overs. 377 runs, 11 wickets. Yeah, so good bowling, Tom. Good strike rate, 43. I think your economy is letting you down so far. You should set a more defensive field. Shane Warne not doing too much. Where is our friend Chaminda Vas? There he is. Chaminda Vas has taken 10 wickets only at a really expensive average of 42. So Chaminda Vas not close to the reckoning so far. Let's see who's bet for some spinners. So Shane Warne was picked by 3 of our betters. We have 6 betters. And Shane Warne is kind of there in the top 6, top 7. Okay. Improve the music man from Samir. This is his first contribution to this whole thing, is the choice of music. Samir, I'm using Alexa on your very own Amazon Music. So if you want me to play a particular playlist, or you want Bunny to set one up, then tell me, I'll play that. Why does Alan says, why do I not have a point? Let's see why Alan doesn't have a point. So Alan has, why does Alan not have a point? Who says Alan doesn't have a point? Let's see. Alan has 0 points, 1 draw. Yeah, good point. No, it's just come up 1 point. There's a lag in Alan's point. Pop jazz. So Samir, should I just say, Alexa, play pop jazz? Alexa, play pop jazz. She's agreed. Okay. I'm enjoying this. Round 4. Where is my 1 point for the draw? Alan, we just showed you got 1 point for the draw. You're 7th. I don't think that 1 point will matter much. There's a beard for the guy who finishes first. That's it. Round 4. Pumas versus Panthers. Pumas, we know who the Pumas are. We don't know who the Panthers are. We do actually. Greg versus Rob Jordan. 5th versus 6th. Rob Jordan has picked up his first victory against very generous Greg. So Rob did really big up in Teeny before this, and Teeny's picked up 7 wickets. Rob Jordan himself picking up 4 in the first innings. It seems like we've also spoken about Greg's weaker bowling lineup, and it seems like Muralitharan and McGrath really single-handedly lifting the bowling for Greg, but there's not much else. Steve Smith scored 228, so I think that brings him into the top 2, perhaps top 3, because it looks like Greg didn't score many runs in this one. So Greg 33, Steve Smith 49. So Greg Gunawardena caught Mitchell Starc, bowled Rob Jordan. Rob Jordan 4 wickets. They've only needed 3 and a bit from Callis in this one. So who didn't bowl for him? Who didn't bowl? Lyon and Tini, Rob Jordan, Mitchell Starc didn't even need to bowl against Greg. That's how bad Greg's team is. Nathan Lyon, only 1 wicket, so he may not be top of the leaderboard, among the top. Rob's faith in Hashim Amla is paying off, because Hashim Amla is making some good runs. I think all 4 of Rob's top order have been making good runs in this tournament. Yeah, like we said, McGrath and Muralitharan are the only ones who are really making any inroads for Greg from a bowling perspective. Jason Holder not doing anything of note, and neither has Colin McGrath down. And Greg with his customary 2 overs, 0 wickets. Lyon has taken some wickets. Yeah, 3 wickets from Lyon. Again, Mitchell Starc not required. That's how easy it is for Rob. Why does Arjun have 29 subscribers? I don't know, maybe they're bots. Yeah, good ball wrong. Game number 2, bottom of the league game. It's between Sahir, who scored 0 points, and Alan, who does have 1 point. Why is Stark not bowling? Like I said, I don't think Stark's acquired against Greg. So let's simulate this game. Sahir versus Alan. So Alan wins his first game, and Sahir loses 4 on the trot. Yeah, Alan. Wow. Okay, I was going to say Alan won it in the first innings with 599 for 6 declared, but actually Sahir scored not 597. So Ganguly 99, Russell 108. And then Alan in the second innings is also declared with 469, with Sachin Tendulkar scoring 175. Yeah, so it looks like the fourth innings is what let Sahir down over here. Maybe he lost the toss, and that's what mattered. This match was played at Wankhede Stadium, which is notorious on its 4th and 5th day. Particularly for the spinners, though, over here you see Ian Botham and Stuart Broad have picked up wickets at the Wankhede. Yeah, no runs of note from anyone in the 4th innings. Let's quickly look at the runs. First innings partnership of 380 from Gavaskar and Alistair Cook. Yeah, as always, Sahir's bowling has been spread across 8 bowlers, 7 bowlers. Everyone's getting a bit of a bowl because everyone needs to, because he's conceding 600 runs in 120 overs. I don't think. Dhoni 83, not bad. Vittori's making some runs as well. I think Vittori is slightly overrated in this game. I called it out. He was 86. I think he should have been 85. And he's a bowling all-rounder, so he's got a century over here. Our very own James Prebbles actually commented, suggesting that 7 is too high for Dan Vittori. I don't know why, because Dan Vittori has scored quite a few runs in his career. Sahir thinks there is a glitch when it comes to the Tigers match. I think the glitch is in the 4th and 5th bowler, or 5th and 6th bowler. Andre Russell has been doing well with the bat, but probably not as well with the ball. But the one person who we haven't really seen much of is Brathwaite. Even though he's taken Sachin Tendulkar's wicket over here, he hasn't really done much with the ball. So, yeah, but I'm surprised that Walsh, Ambrose and Donald aren't really destroying this so far. So hopefully Sahir does pick up a few wins. It's only 4 games in. There are 14 games to play. So hopefully Donald, Walsh, Ambrose really step up. Okay. Game number 3. Top of the league clash between Tom Allen and Samir Rana. So what do we think is going to happen over here? Both of them are undefeated. In fact, they've won all the games that they've played so far. So one of them is going to lose that winning streak of theirs. Any predictions on this one? I think we called out Samir's batting and balanced team. So I have a feeling that Samir is going to win this. I think Samir thinks so as well. Samir says Tom is going to cry. I think Samir wins this by 150 runs or 5 wickets. Gopal also thinks so. Okay, so let's simulate. Nope, we were all wrong. Samir's been destroyed by Tom. Cheetahs. I wonder who's made the runs for Cheetahs. This guy's batting lineup is really strong. Tom Adams. I think Wasim Akram's been taking a few three wickets in pretty much every game, as has Amir, but no one's really, I don't think anyone from Samir's Lahore team has really taken a good 5-6 wicket haul yet. Could be wrong. Like you see, Trent Bolt's been showing up everywhere throughout this tournament so far. He's taken 4 wickets in the first innings and 5 in the second. We haven't heard of Sehwag doing much so far this tournament. Neither have we heard much about Virat Kohli making any runs in this tournament. So only scored 11 in this game. Can we have a pause to redo the bowling orders, please, Arjun? I think I'd rather Cummins Maghia opening rather than Gunawardhan and Jonas. Greg, you're not opening. It's just that you're having to bowl so many overs. This is the order in which the batting lineup exists, and so this is the game is just putting the bowlers in that order. Yeah, see, this is where I think Samir's team must have lost the game, because the top order didn't really do, middle order didn't really do much over the Yeah, actually this is true. It seems like Samir's been relying on Rahul Dravid too much throughout this tournament so far. I haven't heard Saeed Anwar, Virender Sehwag, Babar Azam making too many runs. And nothing special from Wasim or Mohammad Amir or Shoaib Akhtar either. Arjun, read comments from WhatsApp too. Prediction, Arjun. Ruined. Okay. Yeah, I have both my screens on, so I can see both the comments. Work from home, so I've got a good setup over here. Shaheen is also working from the shop so far. She'll come back in an hour and a half, I think so. That's how long I have to play this, and then I'm done. But it is WrestleMania tonight, so I've taken Monday off actually. I take every Monday after WrestleMania off to watch. Okay, anyway, back to the game. Virat Kohli with 33 runs only again, not doing much. Again, see, this is the thing. I think Samir's bowling lineup really needs to step up, because they're not getting any big 5-6 wicket hauls. Ashwin has been getting quite a few wickets for them, but in this innings has been really poor. 141 runs with no wickets. I think Samir himself has been having quite a decent tournament. He's making some good runs in every game, picking up a wicket or two here or there. Here as well, he's the highest scorer for the team. Team only scored 200, but Samir with 63 not out. Yeah, Samir, I'm not the captain. You're the captain. You should be giving yourself more overs. Yeah, Trent ball. Let's look at this. Sahil wants to restart. I don't think that will make a difference. I think Trent Bolt will be near the top of the leaderboard after this. There's one more game in this round, and this is a good game between Colombo Cougars, which is Jack, and Jaipur Jaguars, which is Gokul. Both of them have played 3, 1, 2, lost 1. My bet is on Gokul. Very tight game. Gokul just narrowly wins this one. And let's see how. So Kane Williamson. Oh, this looks like a good chase. This actually looks like a really good game. So Jack's team batted first. Didn't make too many runs. 237. Gokul got the lead of about 100 runs after the first innings. But then Jack's team came back and scored almost 500, led by Kushal Mendis. The guys who we had called out hadn't really made too many runs so far. So Kushal and Azhar Ali, both of them have scored some good runs for him. So that set Gokul with a target of 400 in the 4th innings to get, and it's simply a one-handed performance single-handed performance by Kane Williamson, which has led them over the line. And rightly so, Kane Williamson has been voted the player of the match for this one. Let's quickly look at the scorecard. First innings of Jack. As we said, not too many runs. Wickets spread out. Jaminder Vas with a single wicket. Gokul with some good runs again. He's doing really well, Gokul, so far this tournament. Another name we haven't heard much of so far is Pujara. I think Pujara just got 10 in this game. Bumrah with a 50. Interesting. So how much what was it? They were 233 for 8. And they managed to get another 100 runs for the last couple of wickets. Again, for some reason, Jack's bowling, we haven't seen too much from the likes of Flintoff or Imran Khan. Even though Imran Khan and Flintoff are both rated very, very highly in this game. And they're having to rely on the likes of Jayasuriya and Chris Gayle for a lot of their overs. And before Kushal Mendes came in, they were looking in a bit of trouble. 180 for 3. Dale Sain, another name who we haven't heard of much so far in this tournament. 4 wickets. Bumrah is not doing much, and Vas has been having a dismal tournament so far. So all of these guys pretty poor, but then again, this has been a very high scoring tournament so far. And then of course Williamson with his 200 not out, single-handedly winning the game for them, because Sangakkara, Pujara failing yet again. Not too much support from the others besides the runs by Gokul. So I have a feeling that we'll see Steve Smith and Gokul close to the top 5 in the batting lineups, along with maybe Rahul Dravid, maybe Langer and Hayden as well. So let's look at the team standings first. Team standings. So Tom is the only team so far to have won all 4 of his games, and Sahir is the only team so far to have lost all 4 of their games. Lions, you can see their 1 draw as well as their 1 victory, so that moves the Lions up to 3.00 points. So it's still early days, anything can happen. Let's look at the batting scorecard. Yes, Dravid, Smith, Langer, Gavaskar, okay, I didn't realize that. Gavaskar, Williamson just edging it. Gokul's a bit lower, 491 and 480. Where are our other batsmen? Where's Jack? So we see Gokul at 490 runs, Greg 420. Where's Jack? Where's Samir 327. Jack's not been doing anything for his team so far. 221 runs. Yeah, languishing at the bottom. Jack, Jayasuriya, Stokes, Labus Kakhne, Pujara, Dhoni. Dhoni's very important. Flintoff. I hope Flintoff comes good soon, because right now he's not really contributing at all. Nathan Lyon's been getting as many runs as he has. Quickly, bowling stats. Nathan Lyon still leading the pack with Ashwin, Muralitharan and Jadeja. So top 4 of them are spinners who bowled a lot of overs, and Trent bowled at number 5. Where's Shane Warne? Shane Warne doesn't seem to be in the top 10, top 11. Shane Warne 16 wickets. So 3 of you have picked Shane Warne, 2 of you have picked Jaminder Vas. They don't look so good so far. And who's the other pick? Mackay Ntini. Where's Mackay Ntini? Mackay Ntini actually 17, which is close to Shane Warne 16. So maybe Rob Jordan will be top 5 wicket taker himself. Bunny asks me, why is Arjun talking alone? Good question. I don't know why I have spent so much time organizing this. Creating the teams has taken me a good 3 or 4 hours, at least 3 hours. Running the auction and collecting money on Revolut. All this is quite painful, but quite enjoyable. Continue competition, round 5. Game 1, Gokul versus Greg. Greg has lost 4 games out of 5. And this victory pushes. Where is Gokul? Is Gokul here? Is Gokul watching? Someone needs to call Gokul and tell him that this is going on, because he's playing quite well himself. Kane Williamson pushing his stats up again. Ricky Ponting with a double century. Vas with his first, I guess it's first entry into this mini scorecard, 3 wickets. Yeah, easy chase at the end, in the end for Gokul. Why have Greg's bowlers not been doing much? Jason Holder been getting a couple of wickets. Where are Greg's main bowlers? So this is Greg's first innings bowling scorecard. Muralitharan 55 overs, 2 wickets only. Cummins really poor on wicket. Greg with his customary 2 overs as always, and again 2 overs in the second innings for Greg. Cummins again poor. Cummins has had a fairly poor tournament so far, I would say that. As has McGrath for his standards. You would expect McGrath and Murali to be right at the top. Let's go to game 2. Game 2 again, top of the league clash, 3 versus 4. Leopards versus Cougars. This is Lahore Samir versus Colombo Jack. So surprisingly, Samir does not retain win this game. I would have expected Samir to be in the top 1 or 2, and this is because Jack himself. We're talking about Jack and Jasuria not making too many runs, and Sehwag, the 3 of them not making too many runs, but they've all really stepped up this game. Wasim Akram with 4 wickets and Shane Warne with 4 wickets for Jack. Again, is the first time I've seen 4 wicket haul for any of his bowlers. Or actually, Wasim Akram is Samir's bowlers. They haven't been doing too well. So the first innings obviously destroyed them. Follow on. Jack gave Samir a follow on. Valiant effort, 380 in the second innings, but an easy victory for Jack by 7 wickets at the end. Game 3. Allen versus Allen. Lions versus Cheetahs. 6 versus 1. Let's simulate. And Tom Allen has kept up his undefeated streak, 5 games, 5-1. Let's see what happened over here. So, first innings was by Allen, century for Sachin Matthews, 400 runs. Tom almost scored the same 400 runs, so nothing really in it in the first innings. And then really good bowling from Tom's team by Jadeja and Hadley to get London Lions all out for 250. And then seemed like quite a difficult chase, 270 for 6. So it seemed like their openers made all the runs, but then something happened. So let's see what happened in the 4th innings. So in the 4th innings, Tom needed 270 to win, and he looked to have been running away with it. Where is it? 4th innings, Christchurch. There we go. So they were 200. They needed 270 to win, and they were 200 for 0, and then lost 6 wickets for 60 runs. So if only they'd taken one of those guys, gotten one of those guys out a bit earlier, maybe the result would have been a bit different. Middle order failing quite substantially over here. Kohli 7, Lara 6, Gilchrist 19. Let's look at Tom's first innings score. I didn't realize Kohli scored a century over here. Sachin's been picking up some wickets. And game number 4 from this round. I think this is Sahir's game. Let's see if Sahir is able to pick up a wicket, pick up a win. So this is Rob versus Sahir. Rob's won 1, Sahir's won 0. They both played 4. Let's see what happens in this one. Let's hope Sahir gets off the mark. Yeah, he does. Sahir, you've won your first game. Sahir, the Tigers win by 5 wickets. They're still bottom of the table at number 8, but it's a good start. Let's see who's done it for them. I have a feeling Ganguly has done it for him. Let's see. So yes, Ganguly scored a century and Chandra Paul scored another century. But by comparison, this was a low-scoring game. Sahir got a lead of about 175 in the first innings. Rob with Amla did get a good score in the second, but 255 wasn't really going to trouble Sahir too much. Chandra Paul scoring 150. Bowling wise, Intini plugging in with a few wickets here and there. Lyon with 2 wickets. Rob Jordan also looking to remain near the top. Curtly Ambrose 6 wickets in the game. Andrew Russell 5. 1-5 done. Any early predictions so far? You guys think let's save this? Can I save it? Yeah, how do I save it? Save screenshot. After 5 games, this was the lineup. Batting. Rahul Dravid again, clearly running away with it. He needs a few games with 0 runs for there to be any competition in this one, because there's so many people who scored above 500. That includes Greg and Gokul, as you can see at the bottom of the list, also doing fairly well. Justin Langer doing quite well as well. And where's Samir 400, and where's Jack? Jack close to 400 as well. So Jack, I think he scored a century in the previous innings. Bowling, Nathan Lyon still top. Ashwin, Jadeja, Muralitharan, all 4 spinners still doing. Vittori and Warren. Okay, so 6 spinners at the top. All of them have really poor strike rates, as you can see. They're all between 50 and 65. That's quite poor. Trent Bolt, the only standout bowler really. Round 6. Game 1, bottom of the league game. It is between Greg and Sahir. Again, both of them have played 5 and won only 1. Can Sahir get a second victory against Greg? Looks likely. Greg doesn't seem like he's been getting any victories. Let's see what happens. Draw. I think this is the second draw of the tournament so far. So not the best result for either of them. High scoring first 3 innings, 500 runs in the first 3 innings, and then really just fizzled out. Actually, it did not fizzle out. Greg seems like he might have just won this game because the Tigers lost 9 wickets. So they were clinging on. So let's look at the score. So Sahir scored a fantastic 158. I don't know if he's hearing, but Sahir, well done. Ricky Ponting 200. Sahir also picking up 3 wickets, and Courtney Walsh picking up 5 in the game. Muralitharan 7 in the game. I think that takes Muralitharan to the top of the league table for bowlers. So let's see what happened in the last innings. So this is the 4th innings. They lost the wicket first, real cheaply, Ganguly, and they had a good partnership. And 240 for 6. So it seems like they might have made it because Carlos Brathwaite scored a 50 right at the bottom after 190 for 4. And then they lost a few quick wickets after that. And I think so. Curtly Ambrose funnily enough, Curtly Ambrose and Courtney Walsh batting out about 7 or 8 overs between them for the last wicket to save the game for Sahil. Otherwise, Greg would have gotten his second victory of the tournament. Game 2, top versus bottom. This is Tom versus Rob. I think Tom's going to win it. But what do I know? Tom with his first loss, and that comes to Rob Jordan. So easy victory by 250 runs. Let's hope and let's see if Jack Callis really did this for him. No, I don't see Callis in there. Just 5 wickets in the game for Callis. Okay. Nathan Lyons picked up 8 wickets. I think that firmly keeps Nathan Lyon top of the league table. No real runs for Callis, but the runs are spread out everywhere. So fairly standard game. 100 runs lead in the first innings for Rob. Then he scored 400. So he gave them a really tough target of 500 plus in the 4th innings, and Tom could only make 300. Virat Kohli with a 60. And Trent Bolt with 5 wickets. So he remains the best fast bowler of the game. Game 3, Cougars versus Lions. This is Jack versus Allen. So interestingly, Allen has won his second game against Jack. So this moves Allen up from number 6 to number 5, and it moves Rob Jordan back to number 6. So yeah, the 2 Indian legends at the top really won the game for him, because he scored 550 in the first innings. Sachin and Sunil scoring some big centuries. Chris Gayle hasn't done too much of the bat, but here you can see him with about 90 runs. Vettori picks up 10 wickets in the game, 7 in the first innings. So Vettori might be top of the leaderboard perhaps. And Jasuria picks up 8 wickets. So spinners really doing very well in this game. So it's a good thing that Allen picked up Vettori, because there was talk about him perhaps going for some other legend instead, like Viv Richards or someone. But without Vettori, he may have been really struggling. Sanath with 5 and with a century. Then you can see over here Vettori with 7, a single wicket each for Fernandez and Allen and Broad. And Angela Matthews' dismal tournament continues, 6 overs, 50 runs for no wicket. Labushka says Rob. Yeah, Flintoff and Imran Khan have been poor so far as bowlers. How much did Jack score in this one? Jack 25. How many runs has Allen scored? Let's see. Allen 13. You can see him number 9. And the other innings, Allen 8. So Allen hasn't made too many runs so far. And then the final game. This is Gokul versus Samir. This is an interesting one. So before I simulate this, let's try and figure out what the scenario is. So Gokul's played 5-1-4, Samir's played 5-1-3. I would love for Gokul to lose this game. I would really love for Samir to win this game, because Samir will never hear the end of it. Gokul will tell him this every time he goes to karaoke. Gokul will remember the loss that could happen right now. So Samir, if you're listening, let's hope you win. Samir has 1, which moves Gokul down to 3 and moves Samir up to 2. And how did Samir win? Because of a first innings score of 500 plus, where he declares, driven by David, talking like an Amazonian, driven by David Warner at 230. Wasim Akram 4 wickets, a couple late with a 5-4. That's quite impressive. But where is Chaminda Vas? 2 wickets and then probably nothing in the second innings. So Chaminda Vas continues to disappoint in this tournament. Maybe the tournament is being played in India. I don't know. Because this is a spinner's paradise and a batsman's paradise. So Rahul Dravid has failed in this match, which gives the others a chance to catch up. Although Williamson himself has failed. 6 in the second innings for Dravid. And how many runs did our friend Samir score? And our friend Gokul. So Gokul 5 runs in the second innings and 37 in the first innings. And Samir has scored 12 in the first innings. And where is Samir's second? Oh, Samir scored 25 in the first innings and 12 in the second innings. Anything else? Any catches for Samir? Gokul? Samir, a single catch. Yeah, they're not doing much in the field, these two boys. So that's 6 rounds done. We'll do a 7th one before we take a break. But before we start the 7th round, which will be the halfway mark, let's look at the standings. Samir, do you like the music? Oh, Samir says he got Gokul out. That would be interesting to see. I missed that. Did Samir get Gokul out? Sorry. Round 6. Let's see this again. How did Gokul? Yeah, this is true. I missed this. Gokul caught Babar Azam bowled Samir Rana in the first innings, and in the second innings, you could say Samir gave Wasim Akram the ball and told Wasim Akram how to bowl, and that's why Samir got the wicket in the second innings as well. Let's look at the standings, team standings. 6 games done. Cheetah's top of the table, that's Tom Allen, and we have a new loser, let's call it, which is Greg. Okay, so you can see Greg has 3 points for a victory and a draw, and Sahir has 4, even though both of them have played 6-1-1, lost 4 and 1 draw. Now that is because this game has bonus points. So if a team loses, what they score, they have the first innings lead, or if they draw and have the first innings lead, then the losing team gets 1 point. And it's 3 points for a win. So essentially what this means is that the tied game between Greg and Sahir would have gotten the first innings lead, and therefore Sahir got the bonus point, and so Sahir is at 4 points and Greg is still at 3 points. Let's look at the runs. Dravid, Ponting. Okay, so this is interesting because we see some people catching up. So let's see if Rahul Dravid continues at the halfway mark, if he's still top of the league, because there's only a 70 run difference, and runs are easy to come by, it seems, in this tournament. So who knows? It doesn't seem like Rahul Dravid is really running away with runs anymore. Highest score, obviously. Rahul Dravid, this is 1 innings of 394. The only triple century that we've seen so far. He's still out. What about catches? So Gilchrist has taken 27 catches. I don't know why Alfonso Rashid is playing, but he has taken 27, probably as a substitute fielder because he has not faced any balls. So maybe he's a substitute fielder in this game. I don't know. Bairstow, Butler, Sankara, all the keepers, Mitchell Stark, finally he's doing something over here because he's scoring 20 catches. And finally the bowling lineup. Quite close at the top between Lyon and Ashwin. But the thing is, Lyon's bowling average is not impressive. Right? He's getting these wickets at 46 runs apiece, and Muralitharan's at 47 runs apiece. That's really not impressive. In fact, if you look at it, the real outstanding ones are these two guys, Bolt and Akram, who've been doing, and Tim Southee. So these guys have been, the fast bowlers have been bowling really well. It's just that they're getting fewer overs to bowl because the batsmen are facing so many balls. And our friend Chamin Abbas, 19 wickets, so it's not that bad. He's probably getting like 2 or 3 wickets every game. He's not really doing anything special. So all of these guys, right? Bumrah, Anderson, Ambrose, Donald, Broad. Some really good names over here. They're all getting just a couple of wickets every game. So let's see who remains the top fast bowling wicket taker at the end of this. Let's go to the final round before the break. Round 7, which is the halfway mark. Anything you guys want to see in the scoring? Do you want to see more or less of any of the team scorecards or any of the batting or bowling results? Let me know. Let's begin round 7. Sameer versus Greg is round 7. And obviously Sameer is the favourite, but does he win? Nope, he does not. And this means that Greg has picked up a second win of the game, which again pushes Sahir to the bottom of the table. Bit of a surprise over here. But this is because Sameer's first innings, he only faced 44 overs. His team faced 44 overs in their innings and made only 227 runs. Failures by Rahul Dravid in both his innings, which would mean that we may have someone else at the top, although we had to keep on taking at number 2, and he hasn't done too much in this game either. So obviously a 300 run lead for Greg in the first innings, and then he scores 450. And then Sameer scores 450, which means Greg needs only 130 to win, which he chases down quite comfortably. Ravi Ashwin with 6 wickets in the game, quite decent. Let's see how Greg and Sameer got out, because both of them scored centuries in this game. So let's see, that'll be interesting. So Greg made 127. Fantastic partnership between Greg Gunawardena and Steve Waugh. Sameer picks up 1 wicket, which was Steve Smith's wicket at 87. And then in the second innings of the game, Sameer doesn't make any runs, 9 runs. Greg's second innings, where did Greg second? Oh, Sameer was made to bat again. And Sameer scored a century, bowled by Colin McGrath. Sameer had a very good partnership with Virendra Sehwag, I would suppose, or maybe with Babar Azam. Greg bowled 2 overs for 13 in his second innings as always, and in the first innings also he bowled 2 overs. So Greg's continuing with giving himself 2 overs to bowl. So what we know for sure is that Greg is going to finish the halfway league at 7th or 8th. But let's see who finishes first, because it could be the Jaguars after this game who may finish first, I think. Who may have a chance of finishing first. So the Jaguars need to win this game and the Cheetahs need to lose their game quite comfortably for this to happen. Although Cheetahs are playing Tigers, which is 1 versus 8, so you would imagine Cheetahs win their game. So let's see what happens. 3 versus 5, Gokul versus Allen. Let's simulate. Simple victory for Gokul. He got a lead of 100 runs, Gokul, in the first innings because of a fantastic batting performance by Kumar Sangakkara. You see Alan Fernandez himself continuing with his 2-wicket hauls. Allen had Sachin Tendulkar keeping the score up for him, getting close to Gokul's score, but still 90 runs behind. You can see Bumrah finally with a 4 for. He's getting a few wickets now. But then when Gokul made 460 in the second innings, that means that Allen had a target of close to 550, which was insurmountable. And Kapil Dev really stepped up for Gokul with fantastic bowling in the last innings with 5 wickets for 22 runs. As you can see, Sangakkara with 285, Gokul making 62 himself. The reliance on top 4 continues for the Lions because their bowling hasn't been cutting it so far. Second innings, Gokul makes 32, bowled by Vittori, caught Sachin, the real Sachin. Again, both are not really showing up in this tournament so far. 3 ducks in the Lions' last innings, with one of them being the one and only Sachin Tendulkar himself. And as we said, Kapil Dev really decimating the batting lineup for Allen in that last game. Where did Kapil get? Yeah, Kapil got the last 4 wickets, so he really ran through the tail. And he got Sunil Gavaskar out. So this is interesting. Sunil Gavaskar caught and bowled by his mate Kapil Dev. Panthers versus Cougars, game number 3. This is Rob versus Jack. Let's see if Rob can move up to 5. He cannot move up to 5, but he can move up to 4 actually, because Rob has beaten Jack, and that pushes him up from number 6 to 4, and he overtakes Jack while doing so. So this is a fantastic end of the half time, let's call it, by Rob, because he's finished seemingly in the top 4 after languishing near the bottom for most of the tournament so far. Easy victory for Rob, 10 wickets. Nathan Lyon picking up 4 again. So Nathan Lyon continuing his strong form. Intini and Rob Jordan, as always, continuing with their strong form as well. They really ran through Jack's first innings, getting them all out for 160 runs. That's probably where the game was lost for them. So let's look at the batting lineup, or batting scorecard. Jack with 31 runs. They've been relying on Kushal Mendes for the last couple of games, but he's scored a duck. As we said, Lions got some good wickets. Callis, they've only bowled how many overs? 43 overs. So again, they don't need Mitchell Starc. Mitchell Starc's in their team, right? Yeah. So they haven't required Mitchell Starc so far. Rob doesn't believe in Mitchell Starc. He's giving himself too much of a bowl. Second innings, Jack with a good score of 70. Azhar Ali has not been doing much, I think, in this tournament, or maybe I've missed that. Again, 70 overs bowled. Mitchell Starc not required, not selected by Rob Jordan. I don't know why he's doing that. But it's only 70 overs, it's not too many overs. And Rob seems to be bowling really well himself, along with Intini. So the two of them have really. If you look at their wickets, right, you look at them: 70 runs, 3 wickets, 70 runs, 4 wickets, and Lyon 120 for 2. So it's a bit unfortunate that these spinners are getting to bowl so much that they're top of the wicket taker, because they're not really doing that well with the ball. And of course, easy victory, Hayden and Graham Smith. And then final game. It's been an hour and a half. So final game. Maybe we'll do the second one tomorrow. Let's see, or maybe later today. Tigers versus Cheetahs. So this is Sahir versus Tom Allen. 8 versus 1. If Sahir wins, it may move him up to 7th or 6th. I don't know. I think it could move him to 6th, maybe. Let's actually look at the standings. So let's look at the points table. Tigers 4 points, and so if Tigers win, they will go up to 7, which means that they would be tied with this one. So it depends on net run rate then. Okay, let's simulate that last game. Let's see what happens. This is Tigers versus Cheetahs. Sahir versus Tom. Can Sahir win this one? No, unfortunately Sahir cannot win this one, which means that we have a clear winner and a clear person at the end of his first half. Tom has played 7 and won 6. I forget who he's lost against. If you guys remember, then let me know who managed to beat Tom. And this was played at Wankhede Stadium. I don't know why this is being played at Wankhede and these are being played at the local council ground. The other 3. But this is played at Wankhede. Low scoring game by the standards we've seen so far, and that is because 200 runs scored by Sahil in the first innings, which really damaged his chances in the game. They did make 388 in the second one, which meant that they left Tom Allen's team with a target of 300 runs, which Tom Allen's team was able to really easily achieve because Virat Kohli stepped up with 147 not out. Running away with the game is Tom Allen's team over here. Tom Allen features in this scorecard as well as a bowler, picking up 4 wickets. And Trent Boult continues consolidating himself as the top fast bowler in the game. And I think if you were to look, it'll be interesting to see now by bowling average. I think Trent Boult is probably amongst the best in terms of bowling average. There's only 2 centuries in this game, one from Ganguly and one from Kohli. Tom Allen. The mighty Pumas beat the Cheetahs. Interesting. Why isn't Starc opening? Good question. You can see why Starc is not opening. But let's look at the scorecard before we go there. So Trent Boult really running through the top order and middle order over here. 6 wickets. Look at that. Trent Boult, he gets out. Rohit Sharma, Chandra Paul, Ben Stokes, Sai Jory, MS Dhoni, and Andre Russell really killed the game off over there itself in the first day. Sahir's team was 106 for 8, 99 for 7, 106 for 8. And then who made the runs? It was Dhoni at the end who made some runs with Curtly Ambrose for the last wicket. Yeah, so Sahir did manage a good bowling performance in his first innings, getting Tom out for 288. Tom's famed batting lineup really not doing too much, having to rely on Ravi Jadeja at the bottom to make the runs for them after being 160 for 8. And the wickets spread around. Sahir and Alan Donald picking up 3 wickets each. But it was never going to be a difficult chase for them after we had such a fantastic performance by Virat Kohli and Tom Latham at the end. They were at 100 for 2, so anything could have happened because in the first 2 innings of this match, the teams failed to score 300. So Virat really stepped up and won the game for them. So 7 rounds done, we're halfway there, and let's look at the standings. Tom Allen, Cheetahs are leading with 18 points, followed by Gokul at 2, Sameer at 3, Rob Jordan at 4, Jack 5, Allen 6, Greg 7, and Sahir 8. So hopefully, it doesn't seem like Sahir is going to win this tournament now, but hopefully he has some good performances and can at least if he can beat Greg, that will be good. See if Dravid is still leading 1,000 runs. I did realize that Sangakkara has been creeping up the rankings, but Sangakkara for Jaipur Jaguars of Gokul has ended the first half of the tournament with close to 1,100 runs, leading the pack ahead of Dravid, Ponting, Gavaskar, Steve Smith, Sachin. So they're all non-Merton players, let's say, until we see Greg at the bottom of that list, 750. Greg's the first of ours to be in there. Gokul 700. Where's Jack? Jack 600. Jack quite a way behind. I think Jack had a fairly poor beginning to the tournament, and then he really he tried to catch up. Where's Sameer and Sahir? Sahir is here, close to 400. Did I miss Sameer? Because I know I must have missed Sameer because I know Sameer made some runs. Sameer 550. Sameer is actually very close to Jack. Only 40 runs behind Jack is Sameer. So that'll be an interesting little contest between Sameer and Jack to see who ends this tournament with more runs between Sameer and Jack. Alan Fernandez 130, Rob Jordan 160, and Tom Allen 180. That's all of us. Let's look at the batting averages before we move on to the bowlers. Intini's made 143, let's look at that. Dravid with 82. Sangakkara, yeah, it's the same guys, right? Because there's so many innings been played, so it's all of the same guys. Yeah, Jadeja is a good one over here. He's only made 400 runs, but he's had 4 not outs in his 11 innings. So his average is pretty decent. But who's not done well? Let's look at the batsman and one. Flintoff has the lowest average. We actually mentioned, I think in the first game of the tournament, Flintoff scored 59. And we said, okay, that's a good deep batting lineup that Jack has with Flintoff at 8. But he's only averaging 16, which is pretty terrible. Tom, Rob are averaging more than them. Babar Azam, 4 tournaments so far. Imran Khan, we said, did 4 tournaments. I'm surprised with Jack Callis. Jack Callis is one of the highest rated players in the tournament. But he's averaging 27. Ben Stokes averaging what he should be, and that is 30. Labuschagne, Stachne, 30 as well. Grandon 30. They're all kind of there. Who's the other big names that aren't doing too well? David Warner not doing too well. So I think an average of 40 is about par. 40, no, less than par. 45, 50 is par because you're having some good high-scoring games. let's say this is par, right? So Jack's 45 is probably the par score. Samir 46. So these are par scores. Hashim. Yeah. So now the names get a bit. Few of the good names that we have over here. Richard Hadley's made 750. No, 550 runs. High score I think is still Dravid, obviously 394. Most runs Dravid, catches, forget Rashid, but it's Gilchrist. Rashid has played 56 games, playing all the games. Bowling lineup. Nathan Lyon leading, followed by Ashwin, Murli, Vettori, and I'm glad to see Trent Bolt in the top 5. Very good to see Rob Jordan actually at number 7. Rob Jordan flanked by McGrath and Intini, so that's not a bad group to be in, Rob. And you're slightly ahead of Wasim Akram and Kapil Dev, and of course Dale Steyn. That's quite good. Tom Allen's doing really well as well. Tom Allen's doing good enough to be ahead of Bumrah, Walsh, Amir, and very on Tim in the Vas. So something's going wrong with Vas over here because he's averaging 50 with the ball, despite having a score of 96, a rating of 96. So I doubt Kokul is going to be too pleased with this. So I want to look at strike rates before we close for now. All of these guys who we see on the screen right now have bowled quite a few overs. They've all bowled over 100 overs in this tournament. Except Flintoff, they've all bowled over 100 overs. And their strike rates are pretty poor. I don't know why they're all bowling so much then, especially Sachin has bowled quite a lot of balls. Hazelwood, you can imagine, but yeah, who's Sachin's captain? Allen has got something to work on with his captaincy because he's giving Josh Hazelwood and Sachin Tendulkar quite a lot of bowling, and they're not really performing for him. And on the other hand, Sahir has 4 names in here: Carlos Brathwaite, Curtly Ambrose, Sahir himself, and Alan Donald. None of them are doing well, but then if 4 of your top 6 bowlers don't do well, then what can you do, right? You have to give these guys a bowl. And let's look at this by best strike rate. Alan says Gavaskar is captain. Let's see if Gavaskar is really captain, I'm not sure. Okay, best strike rates. 50. How many people below? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bowlers have a strike rate of below 50, which is very good. The best is Trent Bolt. Very good to see that. Tom Allen himself, fantastic. Tom Allen you should be giving yourself a bowl, Tom. The strike rate is phenomenal at 45. And surprisingly, Ravi Ashwin has got a really good strike rate as well. So Ravi Ashwin probably is among the pick of the spinners because Ravi Ashwin has taken 44 wickets at a strike rate of below 50. So that's really good. But yeah, the really pleasing numbers we see over here are Tim Southee and Trent Bolt. So in the top 6 over here, you have 6 bowlers from Christchurch. Top 6. So good, yeah, bowling averages. Yeah, Ben Stokes, the same guys. And these guys have been having terrible tournaments with the ball. Stokes, Hazelwood, Sachin Tendulkar and Samir Rana. Samir, you need to buck up with the ball because if you don't, then I would recommend that you don't continue bowling because your bowling average is 71 and your strike rate is 100. So you have Wasim Akram, Shoaib Akhtar, and Mohammad Amir in your lineup. So I don't think you're really required to bowl so much. Stark. We have a look at Stark. Bowling average is 2 people below 30, which is in this tournament so far when the runs have been so free flowing. It's fantastic to see Trent bowled at Kapil Dev over here. Yeah, we've seen Chris Gayle with a lot of wickets, but he's only bowled 90 odd overs, or I don't know how many overs this is, 90, 95 overs. So decent 13 wickets for Chris Gayle. One of the few bowlers for Jack who've been forming. Yeah, and you don't see a lot of your spinners who, like, where's Lyon? Lyon's not really here, you see. You've got Ashwin over here, and you've got Jadeja, and then Vittori. But where's Lyon? Lyon's struggling, right? Because his bowling average is 44. So he's picking up wickets, but he's bowling quite a lot for Rob. Whereas Rob really should be bowling himself a lot more. And Rob also has a bowler called Mitchell Stark, who he doesn't seem to want to give a bowl to. So let's see how many overs Mitchell Stark has bowled. Mitchell Stark has bowled 0 overs in this game. I think Rob need to fix this, because Mitchell Stark is a good bowler. I think he's more than capable of bowling a few overs to the likes of Greg and Jack and Gokul. So give him a shot, man. You can see he's the only guy with a red ball icon over here who's not really had a bowl. He's paid his match fees, so I think he should get a bowl over here. Put him as my opener man, Arjun. Yeah, he said that. He said that so many times. Only he was opening for me. Okay, so let's pause that tournament over there. But before we close the video, let's quickly see. Let's look at the teams, and let's look at what's happening with what team is he? Victoria Panthers. So this is the lineup. This is why I want to apologize. I don't know what to say. Maybe Quinton de Kock should have bowled. Okay, Quinton de Kock becomes a wicket keeper. I think he's better at that. Okay. Good that we found this, Rob. Good that you made me check. I think now he can actually open the bowling. So maybe Mitchell Stark should open the bowling with maybe Matthew Hayden should open the bowling as well then. So let's see. I told you guys to check all of this and not to trust me with this. So, Rob, who do you want opening the bowling with Mitchell Stark? Do you want Intini or do you want Hayden? There's a delay of about 10 seconds in this. So yeah, Intini, okay, fine. Intini makes sense. So let's leave it like this. Rob Jordan captain. So that's saved. So hopefully that didn't make too much. I see Trinidad Tigers as well because they've been doing quite poorly. Let's look at their lineup. So Syed captain's fine. Dhoni keeper fine. Walsh and Ambrose opening the bowling. So yeah, Syed's issue is really his team itself. It's not the captaincy, and there's the reason why Rob Jordan is not captaining for Merton, making mistakes like this. Greg captain, yeah, no errors over here. Greg captain, Boucher. Greg has Greg, this is right. So Greg has stolen himself as the second opening bowler, and he keeps giving himself 2 overs and smartly enough taking himself off. So bowler 2, I think it should be Glenn McGrath, and bowler 1 should be Pat Cummins. So looks fine for Greg now. Let's look at Merton's team as well. So who's Merton's test? This is Merton's test team. Okay, so Gokul's opening with Jack. We should do a few simulations with this. Greg at 3, Arjun captain in 4, Gopal, Samir Sahir, the all-rounders at 5, 6, 7, Alan, Melvin, and then Rob and Tom opening the bowling. I don't have Sachin and Taha in the top 11 because they've been invisible the last 3 days and because they're not maybe good enough to play. London Lions, let's look at their team. Alan, this is your team. Yeah, if you want to change your lineup, anyone, then tell me now. Okay, so I know Tom says Tom's given me a change. Anyone else wants to change the lineup? Tell me now. So Alan, you want to see your squad? Here's your squad, Alan. Bairstow keeper, Botham opening the bowling with Josh Hazelwood. Do you like that, Alan? I think that makes sense because you've got Angelo Matthews and Alan Fernandez coming first change, second change. And Alan captaining. So Alan, unless you tell me otherwise, I'm going to leave it as that. Broad and Hazelwood. Broad. Oh yeah, you have Broad. I didn't realize. Okay, so Broad and Hazelwood are opening. That makes sense because Botham hasn't been doing much this tournament. Well, neither has Broad or Hazelwood. And honestly, you should give maybe Gavaskar and Cook should bowl for you because maybe Alfonso Rashid should bowl. If you want Alfonso Rashid in your team, Alan and Sahir, then we can do that. Angelo and Alan, really? First and second? Oh, then okay. So yeah, Alan, you control the bowling lineup after that, not me. You're the captain. Lahore Leopards. Samir, if you're around, Samir, this is your turn to suggest your lineup. So if you want to change anything, tell us now. So Samir is at Samir, you've been batting quite well. So you may want to consider pushing yourself up to 5 ahead of Butler. Okay, go Butler, Wasim and Shoaib Butler. This makes sense unless Samir have any issues. Going to move on. Jaipur Jaguars. Gokul's been I don't know what he's doing, eating his dal chawal, but he's not here. Gokul captaining, Sangakkara opening with him and keeping, Stain and Vas opening the bowling lineup. Who's left? Colombo. I want to open the bowling, so let's look at Samir. Samir wants to do some really cool playboy lineups right now. So Lahore Leopards. Samir, do you want to change any of this as well? Then maybe I can change any of these things for you as well. Just tell me what do you want. Anyway, lineup. Samir. I want to open the bowling with Akram and Ashwin. So Akram and Ashwin. What does that mean? 3 opening bowlers. Oh, okay. You would like Akram and Ashwin to open the bowling. You don't want Samir Rana to open the bowling. So you don't want Shoaib Akhtar to open, but you want Ashwin to open. Interesting. You want to open with a spinner. That's some Greg level thought process over here. Batting, I will open with Saeed Anwar. Okay. So you want Samir? Where do you want Sehwag then? Can I hear Samir in the background? Batting, I will open with Saeed Anwar. Let me just do whatever I want. Rahul Dravid has to be 3. You cannot move Rahul Dravid. Samir, this is your batting lineup right now. Saeed Anwar, Samir Rana, Dravid, Sehwag, Warner, Azam, Butler. So if you want to change it, let me know. I think we had 2 people left, Jack and Greg. So Jack, if you're around, I haven't seen Jack for a while. Jack, this is your lineup. Jack keeper and Jack captain. Imran Khan opening the bowling with James Anderson seems fine. Flintoff, maybe you want to do something different with Flintoff. I don't know, maybe have Flintoff go in at 3 or something. I don't know. Do something different with Flintoff. And finally, Tom, here's your turn. Tom's lineup. Gilchrist keeper, Richard Hadley opening the bowling with Trent Bolt. So we haven't heard too much. I don't think Richard Hadley's been doing too much this tournament. Let's look at his stats actually. Test. No, I don't have it here. I don't know where I see it here. First class. I don't know where it is. Anyway, so Tom, unless you tell me otherwise, I would recommend Tim Southee. So let me just change it to Tim Southee. I got Southee opening with Trent Bolt. Can I have Angelo batting higher than Bairstow? So Alan, if you want to change in batting lineup, you need to tell me your whole batting lineup. So this is the last change that I make for now. If you tell me your whole batting lineup, then that's good. Let's look it on the lines quickly. Angelo batting higher than Bairstow. Yeah, this doesn't make sense because what I'm who's going to move him off. Risky changing a winning team. Cheetah's downfall starts now. Maybe I should sabotage Cheetah. Okay, 118 minutes this has been going on, 2 hours. I'm going to take a break, and if you have any changes then let me know, but hopefully the takeaway from this is that Rahul Dravid is leading with Sangakkara. Hopefully there are some changes that happen at the top of that batting lineup, and Greg's been Burton's best batsman so far, surprisingly, and we've got, from the bowling perspective, we've got Nathan Lyon leading the bowling, but Trent Bolt really doing outstanding as a bowler. We've got all of Christchurch's main bowlers, Bolt, Southee and Tom Allen himself doing really well, and Rob Jordan's been the pick of the Merton bowlers so far. So see you on the other side.